Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a new adventure. Before we begin, I want to make a few things abundantly clear. This is an MSQ run-through of Dawntrail, so this is your spoiler warning. I'm going to be sprinkling in some little bits of my own to make the story my own, but for the most part, yeah, this is just Dawntrail. Secondly, on that note, you're going to hear Anya speak a couple of times. That is not her voice. It's some AI voice doohickey I found on the internet. That's not her. And thirdly, while I intend to post a video every week, Anya and I intend to work through the story at our own pace. So if we don't make every week, well, that's just the way it goes. All that said, thanks for watching and enjoy the story. Chica gave us the good news. We've made ready to set sail and you're going way too fast for me. Slow down. The only one yet to arrive is Arendelle himself. Yes, I'm gonna have to disable that because I don't read that fast. No, don't do that. Stop that. Stop. Okay. There's the bun boy. My new favorite rock guy. Ah, you're all here. It took some persuasion, but the Gleaners Guild ship has granted us places aboard a vessel bound for Tural. There'll be other passengers, researchers, and artisans and the like, so we'll need to share deck space. That's fine, Arendelle. I doubt anyone expected we'd have the ship all to ourselves. I expected to have a ship to myself because I have a ship, the Adamant. You will have seen it if you watched the Atlas series. They're not casting off just yet, so if you have any lingering concerns, now is the time to voice them. My lingering concern is I can't do your accent. I wouldn't call it a concern, but everyone's still clear on what it is we'll be doing in Tural, yes? I was totally gonna do a recap video, but it just slipped my mind. We've not forgotten. You have not forgotten. I forgot. The nation of... oh, God. I suck at these names. Tural is in the midst of deciding its next ruler. As your chosen allies, we shall assist you during the rite of succession and support your bid to become the Dawn Servant. In addition to that, Alphano and I have another objective. Ooh, mysterious. As part of its reconstruction, Garlemont seeks ways to reconcile and re-engage with its neighbors. Oh, not so mysterious. By visiting Tural, we hope to learn more about its myriad cultures interact with one another. How they find common ground, develop stronger ties, the sort of insights that might help our friends in Gilsabard. Now everyone's gonna know how bad I am at pronouncing stuff. But we'll pursue this goal in our own time. You can be assured that we'll give the contest our due attention. Damn right you will. I'm here to smack stuff. That's all I ask. Otherwise, you're welcome to do as you like. Tacos! Quesadillas. You wanted to find out about your grandfather, right, Crow? Yes, as far as we could determine from the old missive I found, he had been tasked with investigating the Golden City by your father, the Dawn Servant. Yet, oddly enough, we have no record of that investigation in our archives, and nothing to explain the earring which accompanied the letter. Oh right, I need to put my earring on. Thus, for reasons both official and personal, I should very much like to get to the bottom of this mystery. I'm sure there'll be a chance to speak with Papa. You can get your answers right from the source. I look forward to meeting him. In any case, you're not the only one with an interest in the City of Gold. Golden City is a children's bedtime story. I am part of this expedition only because the third promise has commanded that I serve as a guide. Still playing the part of stoic servant, I see. I love her accent. I really wish this was a voiceover. What of you? Don't you dare tell me you've changed your mind. We sail and let the wind take us as she pleases. Spoken like a true pirate. I'm sad we won't get far wallowing in the shallows. Damn right. Right then, if we're all committed to the journey, then I say we make ready to depart. Eager as they are, the others have already left for the harbor. We're not in danger of missing the boarding call, but perhaps we should be on our way as well. I agree. Let's get on this boat, but I guarantee you it's not as nice as the Adamant. I like my boat. That is a very tall boat.
Savoring the moment? I can feel your excitement, your eagerness to explore the unknown.
Oh yeah, I'm a Trekkie. I love exploring.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
I agree, Alize.
Do not be so quick to relax. Though Tural may seem but a short sail away on a map, the vast seas between brim with peril. The treacherous waters of Shade's Triangle alone have claimed countless vessels.
Oh yeah, Shade's Triangle,
following
I've
the
totally
safe
been
route
there.
plotted by Admiral Boothishwin herself, this will be no pleasure cruise.
Perhaps, but my
How you
voyage
pronounce
here
that?
was uneventful enough. Disappointingly so.
I
Either
love
way, the
Lamont.
two of you have first-hand experience, which will be of great comfort in the days ahead, I'm sure.
Aye, it's nothing new to us.
All aboard! We're casting off!
It's time. I trust you have everything you need?
Everything but the earring I was gonna put on.
And so does our ship cast off from the docks. We sail west, as Cattenram did some 80 years past, bound for the New World, known to her children as the continent of Tural.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me, Woklamat!
I would totally be out there, Willard. Why would I settle for the deck? I'd climb up on the mast. And the map gets a little bigger.
Smooth sailing so far?
Aye, so far so good. But this sea, she's a fickle one. Calm one moment, blowing a gale the next.
I'll take my rest while I can then.
How come I'm not playing on the figurehead? I want to play on the figurehead.
We left port what seems an age ago now, and we've seen naught but open water ahead. I knew Tural was far, but it's another thing to really know.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of which, some of our fellow passengers have made this trip before. Several times, in fact. I was able to learn a few things about Tural and the right of succession.
Tural.
Since we still have a long way to go, why not have a chat with them yourself? I'm sure you have questions of your own. Did you look out across these same waters, Grandfather?
Just wanted the front to herself. Oh, this will be my first visit to Tural. Tease the name. I was working as Thames Aesthetics in Olga, you see, but my employment with them, came to an end. That's why I visited Triwan in hopes for starting over. While I was attempting and failing to find a new job, I seized on the chance to board this vessel when I overheard room for another passenger had suddenly opened up. I'm told the Dawntrail welcomes all regardless of origin, and so Tural seems like a perfect place to start anew. Hopefully things will be better this time. An adventurer, I presume. I'm a merchant myself, based in Alda. Specialty imports and exports, Eorzean and Tural both. If this is the first time crossing the salts, as they say, do remember the social mores of Eorzea are not necessarily the same as those over yonder. Consider this, it is not uncommon for various races to be referred to instead of by names of certain clans from the coast. The Hitsero, the Hrothgar, the Tural. Not because every member of a given clan is in the same race mind, but because many individuals of said race are associated with that clan. A fair assumption in certain cases, but take care not to give offense. I am going to give offense. I see you in Eorzea before, you great and famous hero. I've had enough playing the simpleton. There was a time when we took great pains to maintain the deception, but with more of you Eorzeans coming to Tural, it became impractical. Besides, my mercenary days are over. Too many of our warband have fallen, and so we head home to lick our wounds. Oh, okay, cool. My story, well, since you asked, I wanted to retrace the historic journey of the great Ketan Ram. You know, the first Eorzean to set foot in Tural almost 80 years ago. The Mamuljaw's leader, I remember that one, is said to have welcomed Ketan Ram with open arms, and sent him home with a bounty of silverware and a token of their friendship. But the real treasure was the crops he brought back, potatoes, tomatoes, and corn. which spread across Eorzea like wildfire. His grand adventure led to culinary revolution. Yeah, I'm down with that. The tales say Ketenram returned to Tural several times after that, but his ship vanished during the last recorded voyage, and he was never heard from again. That even a seasoned explorer like him could meet such an end is a testimony to the ocean's peril. I bet. But I'm running up here, running all over the boat. Can we just have this boat? Because I could do my whole origin story on a boat like this. I just need to paint it purple. Did you want to make a wager? We're taking bets on who will be sat next to the Dawn Servant's shiny chair. There are only 4 claimants in the right of succession, your young Woklamat being one of them, of course. But from the Mamuja bloke was telling us the other 3 are all strong contenders. Not too many keen to risk their coin on the 3rd promise. That's what I get for texting and driving. Did you learn anything of interest? I learned interesting things. I had heard that about the clan names. We should have Wokoma and Aaronville teach us some of the ones we should know. Actually, it's getting a little chilly up here on deck. Let's all gather in the cabin. The view's better here.
We're in for a proper storm, it seems.
How's your stomach? Any better?
I didn't think Woklama had weaknesses.
What you mean? I don't get seasick.
I believe it.
I'm just feeling a little nauseous is all.
Isn't that what seasickness is?
Aaronville, you were born in Tural, yes? Do many of you ever live there?
The Shitona, as my people are called, have settlements mainly in the north, in Tural.
And your family?
I know nothing of my father, not even his name. As for my mother...
We're in the teeth of a Neuroman's! Reef that sail for the mast snaps!
Oh dear.
Sounds like good times to me.
I'm going off the mast! We need help! Get him below decks first! Quickly! Before he's washed overboard!
Come, we should lend what aid we can.
You guys stay here. We got this.
I have not seen the ocean rage with such fury before or since. The heaving waves tossed our ship about like a toy, sending sailors tumbling. The dauntless Alizé, quick to the rescue, was almost lost to the sea herself. Meanwhile, our champion rushed to deploy the vessel's magical defenses, and thereby shield us from the lightning. What an extraordinary life she must lead to be able to operate such a device with practiced ease.
Yeah, a retired pirate.
Vuklamat, too, threw herself into the rescue efforts, though one might have mistaken her for another soul in distress. By the time the unruly seas had calmed, our strength was all but spent, and we had yet to even glimpse the shores of Tural. In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
Morning. Joining us for some fresh air? Seems my belly has settled along with the weather, but I'll feel much better once we're on solid ground.
Yeah, that's what seasickness is, Vuklamat.
Can't be much farther now, can it?
You would know better than me.
Seabirds. Land must be near. You need only hold out a while longer.
For a dark moment, I thought the ocean might swallow us. Glad to have my pessimism proven wrong.
In other good news, I examined the sailor who took a fall, and he's faring well. I'm sure he'll make a full recovery.
I love the way they tie up all those loose ends.
If all's well, then we needn't delay in launching the landing boat. Ships have to lower anchors some way from shore. Too close, and they risk having their underbellies ripped open by the reefs that crowd Tuliola's coasts. Come.
Thanks for bringing us all this way.
Ha! We only did what we were paid to do. Couldn't hardly set you adrift halfway. If anything, it should be us thanking you for helping us through that beast of a storm. As a matter of fact, everyone's starting to fancy your chances in the contest. At this rate, we won't be able to lay wagers no more.
Then I better not let you down. Easy, stomach. Easy.
We're the last to board. If there's nothing left to say, then let's shove off, shall we?
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
There, look, my friends. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
At last, we are come to the land you call the New World. To my home, Tural.
That's still struggling over there. Love the colors.
Gods, I've seen cities with an impressive mix of cultures, but this is something else.
Is that a... No. I've never seen Vanu feathers in that color before.
You'll find much here you never knew existed. There may be a sea route now, but visitors to Tural are still few and far between. And as we don't build seafaring ships, only a handful of Turali ever venture abroad.
Mamulja sellswords mostly. Those willing to play the fool sail with Lominsan merchants to secure employment in Eorzea.
I suppose that makes us a rare sight in your country.
Rare and currently undocumented. Were there some forms we should fill out, or...?
Forms? Did you forget who you're traveling with?
You are outsiders? Visitors to Tural?
For a second there, I thought I was gonna be in a fight.
We are.
Our nation is soon to hold a right of succession to choose its next Dawn servant. We will not abide interference from foreign agents seeking to foment trouble. What brings you to Tuliolal?
I can answer that. These fine people are allies in my succession bid.
Third promise. If you vouch for them, then all is well. Of course.
Please, accept our apologies.
No need to
That
bow
did not
and
go the way I thought it
spray.
would.
That our soldiers are so diligent in their duties fills me with pride.
We'll be continuing our patrol then.
Well, well. You really are a figure of authority here.
Are you suggesting I don't look the part? Anyway, first things first. I bid you welcome to Tural.
Okay, so yes, this is a nice feature. There is nobody standing around there, though. That makes this so much easier. Okay. What an amazing city, as lively as Olda, and even more colorful. I know, I love the colors. I wonder what kind of trouble those soldiers were expecting. It's so nice to feel that familiar breeze again. I wasn't sure my stomach would make it. And neither was I. Well, despite the storm's efforts to the contrary, here we are, safe and sound. Right then, first things first. Still a bit queasy. No more boats for a while. I realize we've just arrived, but we should get you familiar with the city before the rite of succession begins. The arguments here, I should very much like to explore. Then I'll guide you. Are you sure you're in any condition to do so? Aha, we were wondering who these strange folk were. So the third promise has found herself some new followers then. Followers? Yeah, I prefer associate. Welcome up. Are you unwell? No, not at all. Couldn't be better. The third promise does not get seasick. No, sir. As for my hand-picked entourage here, I have recruited them to help me win the rite of succession. I was about to show them around the city, in fact. That sounds lovely. But a group of foreigners is going to attract attention, especially if they're in the company of the third promise. Everyone will be curious. We certainly were. Your siblings have a tendency to, command a respectful distance, but you're just so easy to approach. And I enjoy it so much when you do. Please don't ever worry or bother to me. You're very kind. Good day to you, third promise. So are the siblings like the first, the second, and the fourth promise? They did have a point. Wakoma is technically royalty here. Like it or not, a person of her station surrounded by this many outsiders is bound to draw a crowd. Wait, what do you mean, technically? I suggest we move in two groups as to attract less attention. Just technically ignoring me then. Yeah. And you and Cryo can come with me. Okay. I'll take the twins then. We'll get in touch once we've had a good look around. So do our link pearls still work without towers? Just kidding. That voyage was hard on all of us, so take it slow to recuperate. We have time enough for that. Enjoy your wanderings. I'm gonna. Oh, and my wife is standing right here, too. Perhaps we should wait a bit, at least until Wakwama's nausea subsides. No need for that. Look, I'm ready to go. Ugh. Yeah, you look so ready to go. Fine now, really. Can't stand around all day feeling sorry for myself, what with the contest looming and all. Now then, seeing as we're already here, I might as well tell you about the harbor. Arenville already mentioned the reefs and the coastal waters, which explains why you don't see big ships moored at the docks. Only vessels with shallow drafts can navigate the bay, mostly small fishing boats or barges ferrying cargo up and down the rivers from inland settlements. Much of the incoming traffic is from Tural, the southern landmass. The clans there produce various goods for export. Their wares are unloaded here and carted off to the merchant stalls in the neighboring markets. Speaking of which, Bayside Bevy should be our first stop. Here we go, immersion. No HUD. Except for all that. This is Bayside Bevy, Tulal's largest marketplace. Being right on the harbor, everything from fresh fish to imported wares go directly to the shelves. Anything you want, they most likely have. Oh, right, I should mention that here in Tulal, I will get this eventually. We buy things with Hell, a currency that the Pelepelu created. But don't worry, more and more trade coming in from Eorzea, so most shops are happy to accept your yell. There's also, I'm not doing it. Another market to the east of here, but that can wait for another time. I have other places I want to show you first. Next we'll head back a bit, then northwards up to the stairs to a certain plaza. I can't wait to see the look on your faces. Watch you makey. Watch you.
Wachu Makey is the crafting plaza. It's pronounced Wachu Makey.
Thank you, Anya. I was struggling. Wachu Makey. Okay, I'm good. What do you think of that, eh? I think that looks like an aetherite. Goodness me, you have aetherites in Tural. Get right. I think I've told you before, but my brother Koana spent 3 years studying in Charlian. I knew a Koana, so that's easy to pronounce. He fell in love with the nation and its ways and brought back to us the knowledge of aetherite construction. Papa warmed to the idea at once. Had one built immediately. Okay, well, I'm hoping these are everywhere. Did you do the attuning? Okay, now you're talking like me. I love Wakama. If you're ready to continue, we'll head down again and then up the slope from the side. Right to the top of the gate, which leads to Tural. Let's make a stop at Bright Bloom Post on the way, though. That's the headquarters for the Lands Guard. Alright, couples that attune together, stay together. Slay together. I think it's slay together, but attuning is good too. We have a lot of narrow, winding streets that crawl up the sides of the mountain. As you can see, though, the builders made sure the city's main thoroughfares were wide enough to accommodate wagons.
As much as I'm tempted to detour to snag all the aetherites, we'll press on.
Trudging up and down all these slopes and stairs is exhausting. I understand now where Wakwama gets her endless endurance. Yeah! I used to train on a hill just like this. The nice thing about having a guide that can see is I can turn off my HUD and just follow her around. She knows where we're going and we can just focus on the sights. I have a seeing eye on ya. Okay, that aetherite's like really close. We can detour there. Come on, let's grab this one. Here we are, Bright Balloon Post. The soldiers stationed here are responsible for defending Tural and preserving the peace. Land's Guard are led by the nation's strongest warrior, and so naturally Papa has commanded them since the beginning. At least until 3 years ago when Zoralja took over as commander. The title is no empty honor. It means the first promise is considered equal to the Dawn Servant in martial strength. Meanwhile, I haven't even managed to... Well, I'll discuss my brothers and their accomplishments later. Alphino and Alize should be around to hear it too. Come on, it's time I showed you the Sky Gate. It's right at the northern end of Talon March. Massive, isn't it? Yes, it is very massive. And on the other side is an equally massive bridge to match. Both were constructed by a race of giants, the Yakoi. Strictly speaking, Tural is actually two separate continents. Yaktural, the southern lands of the mother, and Zaktural, the northern lands of the father, which lie beyond the bridge. Legend says it used to be one great landmass, but long, long ago the two gods fought a titanic battle, and one threw the other to the ground. The impact was so devastating, it split the continent into twain. A familiar sounding tale. I'm put in mind of the conflict between Heidelin and Zodiac. But getting back to Zaktural, those lands are also part of the Tural nation, correct? That's right. Isn't my father incredible? He united the people of two continents into a single nation. The many clans of Tural have been at war for generations. It was only when Papa traveled the lands and put a stop to the myriad conflicts that we finally had peace. And that's the main reason I want to win the throne, so I can preserve the peace he's built. But I see you're more interested in what's behind the gate than hearing about my aspirations. No, actually, I would like to hear plenty about that. Crossing the bridge to Zaktural requires a special travel pass. Unfortunately, they won't issue any new permits until the rite of succession is over. I promise to get you one when I'm Dawn Servant, but until then, you'll just have to wait. Then I'll make sure you win, because, I want to go. Mark my words. You really mean that? Ha, woe to anyone who stands between you and adventure. Damn right, there's a whole continent over there. I want to go there. People don't tell me no. We must have covered half the city by now. Tural is unlike any place I've visited. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. We'll head west next, towards the Arch of the Dawn. The dirigible landing is on the way. You have dirigibles too? Tural certainly doesn't want for methods of travel. We get by. Now if you've seen enough of the area, let me know when we'll continue on. The Arch of the Dawn is the other side of the city, so speak up if you see anything that interests you as we walk. Oh, we don't walk, we run. Here we go, we got another angle. And I screwed it up. I'm still struggling to conceive how one can construct an entire city in the side of a mountain. I do it in Minecraft all the time. This is originally the site of the Yakoi Temple. The giants built it when they were first making the bridge to Zaktural to appease the gods who slumbers in the great ocean trench. After the Yakoi withdrew, the temple stood empty for centuries. So when Papa was establishing his new nation, he saw a structure he could refurbish into a palace, sitting practically in the center of Tural. He gathered artisans to do the work, and the houses they built for themselves became the foundation for the city you see today. Actually, that sounds a lot like the way Egypt was built. Speaking of houses, we'll be passing through the Resplendent Quarter, the biggest residential district in Tural. I'm just gonna, roll my tongue on those and hope people hear it the way it's supposed to be. We We climb these sets of stairs here, all the way up. Oh, wow. Papa's palace is called the Voa Kshunsa, which roughly translates to the Invincible Resilience. You probably want to take a closer look, but we'll be coming back here later. Let's move on for now. So this is the resplendent quarter where what manner of people live here? All of them. Well, we have residents from all the Tural clans. Lamulja, Shabral, Paleu, Pelu, Moblin, Hanu. We have Tanawalta, Hitsaru, and Shitoda, who moved south from their ancestral lands in Tural. In essence, it's a gathering of people from every corner of Tural. True representation of Tulal's diverse character. The adornments on each building contribute to the eclectic cultural aesthetic. It's all so beautiful. I'm glad you think so. Come, we will continue down the stairs. Right now, all I see is the glaring light around me. But yeah, I love the colors. These are no ordinary stairs. I take a cardboard box and it becomes a slide. That big drum there is called the Dawn Herald. They play it for formal occasions, like when honoring the Landsguard's return from a dangerous duty. I tried hitting it with my axe once and ripped the skin, earned me a proper scolding, let me tell you. I think the time Papa held me upside down by the ankle. Big drum. Oh! Why would you hit that with your axe? There are folks that, in chat, you won't see it 'cause I'm gonna cover it. But there are folks in chat who are like, oh, joke puzzle. Does someone want to marry me so, I can teleport to the top? Which is exactly how I got to the top of, tower. Flash Shiro game. Kugane Tower. Oh, pack of keeps. It's like a chocobo keep. Person trying to get married to get to the top of the tower. Only person that responded was already married. And if you are watching this video and this conversation sounds familiar to you, congratulations, you're famous. I mean, for my 65 subscribers. And here are our dirigibles. Not bad, huh? Oh, there they are. Here other nations use airships to sail the skies, but you only find balloons in Tural. We have them for the exact same reason as the Aetherites. Kawana brought back the plans from Charlian, and Papa thought them fantastic and commissioned their construction. This was around 3 years ago. Oh, so they just got this kind of travel. Since that time, we've added flights to other settlements. Trade with frontier communities has never been easier. But that's enough about dirigibles. The Arch of Dawn waits. This is exactly why I keep going on about a transcontinental railroad. It would take less than 5% of the military budget in the United States to build a bullet train that goes from one coast to the other on the north and south ends. And it would improve the economy, it would improve travel, it wouldn't even be that big of a thing. I want to see somebody talk about that. Someone has already mastered the jump puzzle. Anya will get me up there, I'll take a picture. This is it, the Arch of the Dawn. When the Giants were still here, it was known as Tural Landgate, but when Papa founded Tural, Tural. Everyone began using its present name in honor of his great achievement. Your dad sounds super cool. Through this gate in Kozamuka, the wetlands south of the city. Depending on what the right of succession asks of us, we might end up going in that direction. Kozamuaka. Mauka? Kozamauka. The name alone is intriguing and hard to say. Speaking of which, what are those fluffy animals we passed earlier? What, the alpacas? Ah, those are alpacas. Fearsome four-legged fiends. Okay, I would describe them as many things, fiends not being among them. Fearsome, they seem quite placid to me. You'll learn soon enough, Kyle. You'll learn soon enough. Yo, I feel like that has a story to it, and I want to know that story. But forget the alpacas. I have something far more important to show you. Come along. Trial's hiding behind all these other people. I feel like this bunny has been in our party this whole time. Are these pillars what Wakoma wanted to show us? Oh, the pillars here? If you wish to learn the history of Tololo Hall, then look no farther. These stone pillars, you mean? What is special about these pillars, if I may ask? I mean, other than them... At a glance, they may look like ordinary stone decorations. But if you take a really good look, you'll see that there's something much more interesting. Pictures? Wait, no, these are glyphs. They seem to tell a series of stories, many of them featuring a two-headed Mamosha. Oh, this must be That's right, it follows the exploits of my father, Galujaja. Galujaja? I can't. And his journey to unite our lands. We call it Tural Saga. The deeds he performed and the bonds he forged, all immortalized in stone. There's no better way to learn about Tural come to be, how Tural came to be. Study them as long as you like. Pillar tells the lay of the Brotherhood. It depicts the scene where Papa granted an audience to the foreign explorer Ket something. I can never remember the name. Oh, I feel so much better now. You mean Kitaram? Ah, that's the one. Kitaram's arrival to Tural is what prompted Papa to embark on his own journey. It's said that the two grew to be close friends, brothers in spirit, if not in blood. But no one knows what became of the explorer in later years. Kitaram's disappearance is a mystery in Eorzea as well. The records say he traveled between our lands and yours for a while, but then it's assumed he was lost at sea. The Lay of Reeds. Here we have the Lay of Reeds. This is the story of when Papa visited the Halu in their village in Huzumauka. The people of Alfano almost mistook for the Vanu. It's not for the colorful plumage. He spent a fair bit of time among the Vanu in the Sea of Clouds, so it's no surprise he took interest in your countrymen. I don't know how it is with the Vanu, but here our Hanu are bright and cheerful, so they hold this one festival every year. Very famous and a lot of fun. Lay of Repast. This one recounts the Lay of Repast. As you can probably tell, the figure depicted here is Zerbral, like me. For decades, Zerbral and the Mamulja were at war for control of the forest of Yaktel. The actions Papa took to end the conflict have since been hailed as the first steps towards founding Tural. It's a clan of Farafgar and Bosnia known as the Hellions. In their society, the women rule as queens and the men serve as devoted subjects. Yet here in Tural, Zerbral men and women appear to be of equal status. How dramatically culture can vary with location. See, the Lay of Pots, which depicts the Moblins of Kozamuka. They might wear odd masks and sound weirdly muffled when they talk, but the gold and silver work they sell is the best you'll find anywhere. Moblin goods are the standard when it comes to gift giving. Clearly, the Vanu aren't the only people with distant Turali counterparts. If you're done with the first half, we can move on to the second. Way of Gold. The pillar shows one of the Pelu, whose homeland is in Pacha. Having created our currency, the Pelu, rightfully known as the Merchant Clan, they oversee Tulal's markets, and the traveling peddlers are a common sight no matter where you go in Tural. Don't let their size fool you. They might be mistaken as children, but beneath those beaked masks, they are clever and calculating traders. That sounds suspiciously like the Lalafels. Oh, this one is my favorite, the Lay of Ice. It depicts the battle with the legendary Tural Vidral Billy Garamanda. I should explain, a Tural Vidral is a creature that has lived far beyond its usual lifespan and awakened a preternatural power. The Tataru described the Far Eastern auspices in a similar fashion. Could this be the same phenomena? Billy Gramanda itself was dubbed the Sky Ruin, a name earned for the destruction and terror visited upon Tural every time it stirred from its slumber. But 80 or so years ago, its ruinous reign was brought to an end. After a great struggle, Papa and his comrades managed to overcome the raging Vidral and sealed it away in the Urkubacha Mountains. Despite its reputation, however, Billy Gramanda is also a symbol of power. That's why you'll see its likeness on Tulal's national emblem and adorning the banners at the palace. Oh, this one is unmarked. Papa says it's left blank for the next chapter in Tulal's history, whatever that might be. And the Lay of Proof. The big fellow is the Yakoi, the largest of Tural's peoples. These giants once used their great size and strength to establish dominion encompassing all of Tural. Having brought the southern reaches to heel, they then turned northwards, setting their sights on Tural. You'll recall the massive bridge they built beyond the Skybreak Bridge. Sometime after launching their northern campaign, however, they just gave up. They abandoned the lands they'd conquered and withdrew into the mountains of Okapacha. I've never seen any of their kind so much as set foot in the city. This was a people with the power and resourcefulness to raise a temple on a mountaintop and build a bridge across the sea with stone. What would move them to renounce their ambitions and their place in Turali history? Had your fill of history then? Yep, I'm good. Glad to hear it. You know, I feel awfully hungry all of a sudden. No surprise seeing I couldn't keep anything down for a while, but now I think I'm ready to eat again. Let's go and have ourselves a bit of local delicacy. Come, I'll take you to the best restaurant in the city. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that too. What a lovely establishment. I'm reminded of the Bismarck in Linsalamensa. Have you ever heard of tacos? Yes. They're a Tural classic. You bake a crunchy shell made of corn flour and fill it with meat and salad. A lot of shops and stalls sell them, but I like how they're made here at the Balyev Thai's best. And I need one right in front of me right now. Let's head downstairs and place an order with old Ifu. I feel like someone could make like a slideshow of me just butchering names.
Brook Evu!
Okay.
My companions must sample your heavenly tacos. One for each of us, please.
Right away, promise. And I'll pack them tight with my choicest feelings. Only the best for you and your friends.
Do you have cayenne? Cayenne is important in tacos.
Did you hear the Silver Scales are back? Seems their overseas foray ended in disaster. More than half their warband is missing, including their leader.
Aye. And now keen to rebuild their broken reputations, the survivors seek the Golden City. A fool's errand. How many hopefuls have disappeared in search of that fable? They should count their lucky stars they came home alive at all.
The legend of the Golden City is well known here, I take it.
It is, but as no one's ever seen it, many question if there is any truth to the tale. Like our skeptical Erinville.
I can't imagine the Dawn Servant would request a formal survey for a place that doesn't exist.
Now to find a spot with a pleasant view to enjoy our crunchy spoils. Oh.
Ah, you stepped on the princess's tacos.
If it isn't the third promise.
Isn't it Four Eyes?
Oh, no.
I don't know these ones. New salt.
Dredge from foreign waters is my guess, brother.
Of course, that's it. Wuklamat is so afraid of the coming contest that she went crying for special help.
Was there something you wanted, Bakul Jaja?
The third promise remembers us! Such an honor.
Glory on your name, brother.
And on yours, brother.
I know my rivals for the throne. Nothing more.
Another child of the Dawn Servant?
No, this brute.
We have no ties to their farce of a family. Unlike the sneevling house cat, we are blessed siblings, the elevated chosen. We alone are fit to succeed Golul Jaja as Dawn Servant.
All peoples are equal in Tulihyolal. Your heritage gives you no greater claim to the throne.
Shall we test that idea here and now? See if your strength is equal to ours.
None of this has any bearing on the right of succession, correct? Best not waste your energies on pointless scuffles.
Nice, said Tural, though I wouldn't mind punching him in the face.
The kitten comes to the house cat's defense.
Pathetic. Since when was our nation overrun by mewling weaklings?
Listen to me, you.
I think we're gonna have to order more tacos. I'm pretty sure his feet are filthy.
Two-headed Mamulja. I knew of them, but that's the first I've seen in the flesh.
Some get it into their twin heads that they're destined to follow in my father's footsteps. So they travel to distant lands to hone their battlecraft. Those are likely the ones you've heard about.
Are there other two-headed claimants?
No.
Valid
Just
question.
Bakul Jaja. Even in Tural, his kind are far from common.
That's a relief.
The Mamulja people largely belong to one of three clans. The Hubigo, the Bunewa, and the Dopro. Every once in a great while, a two-headed offspring is born from a union between the brown-scaled Hubigo and the blue-scaled Bunewa. The child grows to possess immense strength, both physical and magical.
Blessed siblings indeed.
Forget them. Let's go and buy more tacos. I can think of nothing better to rid me of this bad taste in my mouth.
Enjoying your tour of the city, I trust. We've seen our share of notable sights and took a moment to rest. As such, we're ready to present ourselves at the palace for the rite of succession. Shall we meet you there?
The palace it is. I'll let Wuklamat know. Destiny calls. Perhaps we can return for more tacos later?
So it goes.
forward to trying some authentic Tural cuisine, but we should hurry and join Alphino and the others in the palace. Alright, it's a bit of a climb to the top, but you can head up from the Resplendent Quarter, or even on the eastern side of Talon March if you prefer. Now, if you have an idea of how the city is laid out, I'll let you find your own way to Baluk Shunza. Ah, my poor empty belly. It is a bit of a climb. Boshi moi. You made it. Good. Then we're all here. I was so hungry enough to eat a whole roasted colibri, but the contest won't wait for us forever. I've acquainted the twins with the city as best I could on a short time. Their unbridled enthusiasm made it rather difficult. Invariably something would catch their eye, spurring them to run down an alley to investigate. Kind of like someone I know. 'Twas like herding a pair of unruly squirrels. I understand that all too well. Charlene has the same effect on me. Right then, now it's time to see. We saw the inside of the palace. Papa will want to know I'm home, and to meet the allies I've chosen. Given how impulsive he is, though, there's no telling what we might be in for. Oh yeah, that's the ominous of all.
When did he get here?
What's the point? Why is he here?
Oh, you know this man? Whenever my father spots a promising opponent, he invites them to Sunperch to duel. Pressing duties or no, he can't resist a good fight.
So the one Estinian is crossing blades with.
That will do, Spearman. I will receive my darling daughter. Know that you are the strongest I fought in many a moon, if not longer. It is the privilege of a life long lived to face such a formidable soul.
If it's formidable you want, then look no further than that woman there.
I see you, warrior.
We had no idea you meant to visit Tural.
I've seen what lies east. This time I chose west.
And thus did our itinerant dragoon make his travel plans.
You witnessed our bout. If you thought he was fearsome, that was with one head dozing.
I'm not sure I understand.
The old man has been feeling his years. The uncovered side is the head of resolve, and age has only deepened his love for combat. But the head of reason, wiser of the two, sleeps more and more these days. As I understand it, the veil helps with the restoration of his magical energies.
Enough about me, Lamati. I want to hear of your adventures.
Lamati.
A term of endearment. It's what my family calls me.
Oh. When last did we see you in the palace? Greetings, Solonesh.
It's Erenville now, Dawn Servant. I took the name while abroad, and have since grown accustomed to it.
Erenville, then. And these others? I assume are Lamati's recruited allies. Ha! Old-tempered still. Yet as much as I'd enjoy testing their mettle, the hour of the right is at hand. I will summon the other claimants at once.
Then I shall leave you to it. Good fortune, my friends.
The claimants are assembled. The first promise, Sorolja. The second promise, Ona. The third promise, Uklamat. And lastly, the chosen of Mamuk, Bakun Jaja. You four will compete in the right of succession, the outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn Servant. I am not the man I once was. My wiser half sleeps the days away. And it is time I yield my position. But mine is a torch that has never been passed. Tuliyola is young. And so I look to thee always for inspiration. The right of succession. The means by which the autarch of Mamuk was chosen. Only the two-headed were deemed fit for this contest. But the Tuliyola I built is a nation of many peoples. Our leader needn't have two heads, nor be a Mamulcha So I gave the right of claimant, not only to the son I sired, but to my adopted children as well. Yet the opportunity to rule was still not equal. That is why a recent tournament offered a place in the contest as the winning prize.
Now you have us to compete against. Ah, though it seems the One-Head was already too afraid to face us in the tournament.
Our brother was in Shock Tural leading the Landsguard on a campaign to eradicate a Tural Vidral. Anyone with sense would know he was too busy for games.
Now for the part you've been waiting to hear. The nature of the contest itself. To triumph in the right of succession, and thereby claim our nation's throne, you must travel the lands of Tural and find the City of Gold.
If I may, Father.
Speak, Kona.
The Golden City is an ancient Turali legend, but after so many failed attempts to find it, the story has become more fairy tale than fact. If you would charge us with such a quest, are we then to assume you have proof of the city's existence?
Are you for us proof, my unbroken word? For I have seen it with my own 4 eyes.
Feel bad calling the other guy 4 eyes before.
The city's real. All those years.
This was before the founding of Tural. I traveled the lands of Tural with my companions. And we ended our journey at the gates to the Golden City. I mean to have you do the same. But in order to achieve victory proper, you need to break the seal I put in place. Bring them.
Tural saga.
You will retrace the path I walked to unite our peoples, step by step. Along the way, 7 chosen electors will be waiting to measure your worth. Earn their keystones by performing the feats they ask of you. Once you've fitted each of the 7 tablets with the keystone, you'll have the key to unlock the seal on the Golden City's gates.
So the contest is in stages, none of which can be skipped by rushing to the ultimate objective.
Exactly. Exciting, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Martial tournaments, hunting festivals, and now this? You do so love your contests, Papa.
Were I a few years younger, I would have joined in myself, giving you a proper challenge. You may think the ride is tedious or nonsensical, or both, but I am yielding our nation's throne. Let me have this final indulgence.
A waste of time. Just name Bakunja as successor and be done with it.
The rite of succession begins now. I'll be watching you progress with great interest. And Clemens, remember to collect your tablets before you leave. You are one of Lamachi's allies. Speak freely.
I am Cryle Baldessian, representative of the students of Baldessian. My name is perhaps familiar to you?
Ah.
It would seem you sent this letter to my orders some years ago. The ink has since faded and much of the writing is illegible. Even so, we managed to determine the essence of it. A request to investigate the Golden City, addressed to my grandfather, Galuf. Included with the correspondence was this earring. A fairy tale and a piece of jewelry were enough to convince my grandfather to sail halfway across the world. So there is surely some greater mystery at work here. On behalf of the students, I've come to seek clarification on the matter. Have you any knowledge you might share with me?
No, not at this time. I have tasked the claimants with finding the Golden City. To fulfill your request would afford one of them an unfair advantage in the right of succession. But once the contest is decided, I plan to entrust the entire truth to my successor. If you want to hear it, then you had best help Lamachi win.
Very well, Dawn Servant. On my honor as a student of Baldessian, I will find your Golden City.
Thank you for hearing my petition.
How about that? She's grown into a remarkable young woman. You should be proud, Galuf.
Too late to change your mind now, I suppose. But are you sure you wish to be part of this?
Yeah.
Our
Sounds
third
like
promise
fun.
is not wont to take no for an answer. Though you may have agreed to help, I worry that you were swept up in her relentless enthusiasm. Or perhaps you've been lured by the glory of the Golden City. Either way, this contest for the throne will place you and yours at the heart of political turmoil. If you are second-guessing your decision, tell me now. This may be my last chance to help you withdraw.
Oh, come now.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend, and there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
I've made my decision. I mean to see it through.
Is that so? I will speak no more of it then. As for my own involvement, I can no longer conduct myself as a mere guide, I think. Not after the Dawn Servant's revelation.
Here they come! It's Seralja! Such a fearsome mien. Make no mistake, there goes Tuliola's mightiest warrior.
First promise, our village needs aid. The cold weather stunts our crops, and the children of our village go hungry. Once you ascend the throne, I beg of you, grant my people new lands, please!
Seralja.
Take heart, tiller of the soil. The resilient son, blood heir to the Dawn Servant, has heard your pleas.
Seralja, the first promise and commander of the landscape. Seralja, the palace seer. As he was so careful to remind the crowd, Seralja is indeed the natural child of Gulul Jaja.
And Resilient Son, is that another title, like the first promise?
After a fashion. Common knowledge has it that two-headed Mamulja cannot sire children. Yet Seralja was born all the same, with the head of Resolve's features and the head of Reason's scales. An extraordinary example of life's unyielding resilience.
And a warrior's reticence. He says little, but the way he moves... I know a hardened soldier when I see one.
He's a natural swordsman, a gift he inherited from his father. Some even say that the son has already surpassed the sire. Should he come to power, the first promise means to employ that martial prowess in the conquest of foreign lands. For this, he and his supporters have been labeled expansionists. This puts him in direct opposition to Uklamat, who advocates for the preservation of peace. You may recall that she spoke of a claimant who cannot be allowed to rule. That is Seralja, the warmonger.
Cryle, are you all right?
The echo. It gave me a glimpse into Seralja's ambitions. Deep and unknowable, like an abyss. Yet at the same time, a roaring, unquenchable fire. It was a trifle terrifying, to be frank.
Second promise, you must bring us more marvelous conveniences. More dirigibles and trains and the like. We need you in charge to make trading easier.
The elders, they complain and complain about abandoning tradition. But we're not like them, afraid of everything foreign and new.
You have our wholehearted support. With your ingenuity and knowledge, you're sure to win the contest.
Forgive me, but the rite of succession is barely begun. I will hear your petitions if and when I am named Dawn Servant. If you will excuse me.
Plain spoken, as always. That's Arcona. Practical to a fault.
Here we have Kona, the second promise, who spent time as a pupil at Charlian's own studium.
Now that you mention it, I think I did see him in the halls once or twice. There was nothing to suggest he was Turali, much less from a royal family.
That was by design. He forwent his usual garb and took an Eorzean name to avoid attention.
So it was Kona who introduced the dirigibles. And the railway too, given what we just heard.
In furtherance of his goal, to enrich Tuliolal with every bright notion he learned of in Charlian. He is the hope of those who prize innovation. As aloof as he may seem, Kona and Wuklamat actually get along rather well. They bicker and banter as only close siblings do.
How gracious of you all to cheer the lesser Glaevans. Oh, come now. What are you afraid of? I'm no different from your Dawn servant. That my kind should reign is Mamulja tradition, and has been so since before there was a Tuliyola. I'll brush aside your feeble contenders, and then you'll see who deserves your fealty.
Well said, brother.
The Mamulja have finally found peace in Tuliolal. I pity those fanatics are intent on keeping that tradition alive.
The chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja, winner of the recent martial tournament, and the only claimant not of the Dawn's promise. His strength is undeniable, but you see how he is. A few devoted Mamulja are his only supporters.
What would he do with the throne should he win it?
His policies and so forth. I doubt he's thought much beyond winning the contest itself, but one thing seems certain. If he does become Dawn Servant, he will see the Mamulja exalted as the ruling class, and all others forced into subservience.
Sounds like another that cannot be allowed to rule.
We wish for one thing and one thing only, third promise. To abide together in harmony with our neighbors whom we love in this land we share. It is our way, the Turali way.
Galul Jaja built for us this peaceful nation, and we beg you to preserve it.
You have my word. I won't let your pleas go unanswered.
Until Tuliolal was founded some 80 years ago, this continent was ravaged by war. The eldest among us remember that dark era. and they are Wuklamat's most ardent supporters.
Apologies, it's hard to get away. This is Namika, my childhood nursemaid. She's been like a mother to me my whole life. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she insisted on seeing us off.
I place our precious third promise into your care.
Did you know Wuklamat was taking part in the rite of succession?
Of the Dawn's promise? I thought it was only Zoralja and Kona. If she has any accomplishments to her name, I've yet to hear them.
Compared to the two Mamulja, she pales in martial prowess. And then there's Kona, who's far and away the most educated of the bunch. I hate to say it, but it's hardly a competition.
It's fine. More than anyone. I understand how much better my brothers are than me.
Better? Wuklamat, I have never thought of you as the lesser sibling. Your brothers may excel in their respective ways, but you boast qualities that both lack. A strength that is yours alone. Having cared for you for so long, I should know.
Thank you, Namika. Well, we ought to be on our way.
Yes, hurry along. I await word of your victory with bated breath.
Is it time to kill the taco murderer?
Maybe next time, dearest.